Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. My name's Ethan Etchart. Today's a little different. I'm actually in the park right now here in Columbia. It's raining, so I decided I needed to film this YouTube video now while I had the chance to get some rain coverage. But today I'm going to talk about my why, my purpose, what I'm doing, why I'm doing what I'm doing. It's important to understand deeply and truly why you are chasing the vision you have in front of you. And so, a famous author, motivational speaker, this guy, Simon Sinek, he has written books about this. Everybody knows about purpose and matters and stuff, but he really details the significance of clarifying your purpose in his book, best-selling book that's called Start With Why. And so in this book, he demonstrates to you how important it is to know your why. And if you think about it, all the most important successful businesses and effective individuals out there, they've had huge purposes, very clear purposes. They've known it from the get-go. They've known it from the start. For instance, like Steve Jobs, when he started creating Mac, he wasn't doing it just to make money. He was doing it because he had a vision for innovation. Same thing with Phil Knight when he created Nike. It wasn't just about making cool shoes. It was about making better shoes that were going to help people perform better in athletics and stuff like that. Or Oprah, for instance. Oprah didn't push through years of discrimination and sexism, to become the most successful talk show host ever, just to show off her verbal prowess or anything like that, or show off her charisma. It was because of a deeper purpose inside that she wanted to fulfill. And so you got to remember, these legends out there, they wanted to create monumental change. That's why they did what they did, and that's why those who are successful now do what they do now, because they know why. They know why. Some want to innovate, some want to improve well-being of humanity, and some want to just bring justice to the atrocities of the past and the current present. So if you're looking for just money or fame, you're not going to make it. You might have small flashes of success, but you'll flame out. So what makes leaders and businesses become uber successful and make huge impact is that reflects this huge cemented meaningful legacy is the way in which they crave to change the world. So that's what it is. You got to know why. Why are you doing what you do? And life is a gift. We were fortunate enough to be born human beings, with powerful minds and bodies. We're not like worms digging through the dirt or like ladybugs crawling on top of a rock. We have this amazing power of consciousness that is really yet to be understood, and our bodies are very capable. We can be strong, flexible, adaptive. We can run marathons. We can do everything, right? So the human experience, it's quite beautiful, but at the same time, it's pretty ugly too. The lows that we feel are absolutely treacherous. They're terrible. The injustice out there is quite sickening, and but the moments out there of peace and impact and love, they're so gratifying and so fulfilling that it makes it worth it. The visceral bliss, the gratitude you feel due to the gift of life is something that ought to be cherished. It's got to be preserved, shared ubiquitously. It's got to be shared with everyone. And so that's why you work toward your purpose. We owe it to ourselves and to future generations to do everything in our power to improve the well-being of others around the world. We owe it to ourselves to live for the purpose we deem most important. So please discover your why, and I'm going to show you mine. So how and why did I discover my why? Okay, so why am I so fascinated right now about health, optimizing fitness and well-being, especially for myself and for others? Well, let's start. So with my background, I came from a culture that's very, into excessive drinking, partying, substance abuse, all those types of things, consumption of terribly unhealthy foods. There's a community too, like in the US and stuff, that has this fear of discussing emotional health. And overall, the civilization just feeds division. Everybody is arguing all the time. Nobody's on the same team. It's pretty ugly right now. So I've always been confused by the lack of competence out there and honesty in the world. So, I'm someone who seeks to learn more, unveil the ugly truths, and seek to actually make change and bring us together. That's what has always made sense to me, and I'm not going to stop doing that. And so my focus obviously right here today is my why is what I see with global health. And global health is pretty terrible. It's frightening and it's alarming. We are constantly consuming these toxic foods, drugs, beverages that are definitely killing us faster. Adopting a fitness routine is laughed at, often seen as egotistical. People are like, what are you doing? Why don't you just come chill on the couch with us? Even though the research is showing when you live this sedentary lifestyle, you're going to develop disease, 100%. Chronic diseases, obesity, it's The stats are there. So there's no question anymore about whether lifestyle factors such as drinking, alcohol excessively, consuming a lot of processed foods, and the lack of physical activity patterns like that. There's no doubt anymore that those do affect your life, your mortality. It's 100% confirmed that there's undoubtedly a link between the two. And there's always peer-reviewed studies coming out all the time. This is why I studied in university. Every single year, there's new studies on this type of stuff. So all across the world, Japan, the Middle East, China, US, Europe, Africa, wherever they're doing research, South America, where I'm at, they do a lot of research on it. They're showing that people are dying faster by not taking care of their bodies. And we have all heard those anecdotes, those stories that people like to say, like, oh, what do you mean, Ethan? My uncle, his best friend, worked out every single day, and he just dropped dead out of nowhere, 48 years old. He just died young, and so why should I take care of myself? Because if I live healthy, I could just die at the drop of a hat, Meanwhile, at the same time, my uncle, he smoked cigarettes every day, and then he ate donuts all the time and drank beer all the time, and he lived to the age of 80, Ethan, so why should I take care of myself, right? There's always a story like that. How many times do you hear that story? Like, everybody's got one of those stories, but guess what? But how many stories do you hear the opposite? People that treat their bodies like crap and they die young. People that are smoking like crazy. People are drinking like crazy, and boom, they got, liver problems and lung problems, all those type of things, and they're dying young. There's a lot of people with that. It's certainly way the majority. It's just like gambling. Nobody's ever going to talk about the time they lost $5,000 at the casino. But guess what? They're going to tell you every single time, oh yeah, you know what? I won $1,000 last night. That one time it happens out of 50 times they go to the casino. They're going to tell you about that. But they're not going to tell you about all the other times they lost, even though they lose all the time gambling. It's the same thing. So just same thing with health. Nobody's going to talk about their relatives and friends who died due to bad habits. Let's say you actually really want to be honest for once. Everybody's just going to talk about the outlier and their family member who had extreme luck. And this is ignorance. We got to be real about these things. So we got to be real. Guess what happens when people frequently go to the casino? They lose their money. Guess what happens when people are alcoholics and they're eating Taco Bell all the time? They're dying faster. 100%. The stats are always showing that. It's always happening. And guess what? Depression and pain too. If you're literally consuming substances every day to feel good about your life, you clearly have something going on up here. You got, maybe it's not clinical depression, but you got something going on up here, and then you have probably some pain mentally or physically too, like, oh, I need to pop a pill, or I need to do this and that because my body feels like crap and I feel tired from stressed out from the day. So we got to be honest about this stuff. We got to be rational too. So Ethan, right, you said if we're all going to die anyway, why should I try to live with vitality and be healthy? So if I'm going to die anyway, can I just do what I want, right? This is kind of another perspective I hear out there. And guess what? I used to kind of agree with this sentiment. And you know what? I want you all to know, obviously, that I was someone who loved to party excessively, get wasted, be responsible, do literally every single thing that was instantly gratifying. I like that. So I understand. I get why you don't want to be serious and responsible. I loved being irresponsible and having a lot of fun too. But it wasn't responsible fun. And guess what? I have more fun now. And so I'm not doing what I do now from a perspective of living a flawless life or anything like that. I've made so many, bad decisions, and I'm far from perfect. And so I've learned a lot though. I got tired of taking L's. I got tired of that. Got tired of being irresponsible, nobody believing in me, nobody trusting me. Got tired of being a nuisance. Got tired of feeling like shit. So I started prioritizing my mental health and fitness. Guess what? Things got way better, and things continue to get better. It's like the momentum, boom, 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 it just continues to go. The more I take care of myself mentally and physically, the better everything else gets in life. Better opportunities, better friends, better women, better opportunities in fitness and business, all those things. That's what it is. So now I have this educational background in exercise and wellness, and I walk the walk and I talk the talk. This is what I do. I love this stuff, so boom, here I am. And I want you guys to know that, don't get me wrong, I still get loose, I still have fun, I still go dancing at clubs occasionally, but I'm not drinking, I'm not getting wasted, I'm not relying on substances to enjoy my time. I enjoy my time naturally, and and it's liberating. And that doesn't mean I'm never going to consume anything like that. I'm not saying that. Like, of course, I wouldn't be surprised if I do, and I don't mind having it every now and then, but it's just something I don't need. So when I used to require alcohol or nicotine to enjoy or bear through a holiday or celebration or a date with a girl, it's pathetic. It's inauthentic. It's not who you are. And so the way I live now, it feels really good, and it's real. It's like who I am, right? I don't have to ingest a substance to become someone I'm not, right? So I want people to experience this so badly, and this is what I'm focusing on. This is what I do. This is what I help people. So once you understand the implications of living this instantly gratifying life, where you're watching porn and you're partying all the time, and you're eating snacks and you're doing anything that makes you feel good for 2 seconds, right? That's instant gratification. You realize when you do that all the time, you're poisoning your brain and your body, you're lacking discipline, you realize that the perspective, you realize that the perspective of, okay, yeah, this perspective, right? You only live once, why should I take care of myself if I'm going to die away? You realize that this actually means, hey, I don't value my family, my purpose, my friends, or myself enough to actually get my shit together. I'd rather be a burden to those around me and not be responsible or disciplined. I'd rather let my kids just miraculously figure out how to live a healthy life, and I don't want to be responsible. I'd rather just hide from real truths instead of fighting my demons. I'd rather take things easy, and I'd rather let others suffer alongside of me. So why should I do something important? That's what it means when you're living a life of instant gratification all the time. That's really what it means. And yeah, that sounds kind of brutal, and maybe like, hey, am I taking a little too far there? No, I'm not taking it too far there. It's true. I know it's true. That's what I discovered about myself before I decided to take things in the right direction. And so guess what? There's so many people who don't have the ounce of privilege it takes to enjoy the degenerate party scene. They don't even have the ounce of it at all. So there's a lot of people that are born into sex trafficking, they're born into slavery. There are a lot of people who are born into situations that more or less resemble hell. So privilege is a strange, ugly aspect of the human experience, and we all have varying degrees of privilege. We inherited, either genetically, societally, or through fortunate character development. And trust me, I know I have a lot of privilege. I'm aware of that. And I continue to be humbled and reminded of it every single day. And like the well-renowned clinical psychologist, Jordan Peterson, he always says, the way we pay our privilege is with our virtue. And so those who have suffered, we owe it to those who have suffered alongside of us, before us and after us, to redeem our gift of life through virtue. We got to do important things. We must have purpose, and here's my why. So here's my why. I'm here to help others find peace and embody the character that they know they have deep inside. I decided to pursue a career in health, wellness, and fitness because I have found that the most holistic approach to affecting global health at a large scale is getting involved in the transcendence of exploring and studying well-being, fitness, health, all these type of things. And so what I do is deeper than personal training right now. That's what basically my title is, but being a fitness coach is just one small rung on my ladder in my long-term mission. I have long-term goals of achieving, higher education, hopefully a PhD, and scaling projects that can make real impact on the health of others, and partnering with organizations that can actually make a difference and a significant impact on improving the global spirit and global health. And so it's a long journey, it's crazy, it's gonna be difficult, and whatever, I might only make a dent, but why not give it my best? Why should I not use my gift of life to the best ability? And so let's be real, like Social Security paychecks, healthcare coverages, all that type of stuff, like they're probably not going to protect a lot of us here in the future, and we're in a global recession. There's a lot of problems right now with the global economics, and there's already a war in Europe. We know there's always problems, there's huge discrimination. And so this economic scene is really complicated, and obviously global health is even complicated even further. So don't be surprised if your retirement plans are going to take a huge turn. If you even have the privilege of having a retirement plan right now, it's a pretty crazy scene right now in general. And so the only way to guarantee and assure a healthy adulthood at this point is to eat real foods, educate yourself, exercise, and have honest conversations about your mental health. So we have the tools necessary to protect our future. So we gotta pursue it. The education is there. The missing link is always your desire to find it and execute it. So not only is that approach completely holistic and universal, it's also guaranteed to make your life more meaningful and more satisfying. So that is my why. And so guess what? If you're someone that's like mocking this video or something or laughing, like, I understand, you know, you could be irritated by that I'm trying to achieve, you know, pretty important things, but why aren't you not trying to do important things? Like, why are you giving life a half-assed shot? Why are you not trying harder? You know, especially if you're gonna be having kids and you're gonna be having influence and responsibility, we gotta be doing our best to, you know, to be a better person, you know, and to do things the most and the best way we can. So let me guarantee this to you. I want you to live a better life, and I want you to be able to do that for your kids too, and so on. So I'm not here to make you feel like shit. I'm not here to ruin your day. I'm not here to make you feel bad about your past. You know, it's time to get over that. I'm here to encourage you that there's hope, you know, and there's a best you to strive for, and that's what I'm working towards. And so I'm here to support I'm here to support y'all in your journey of self-development and ultimately make life better for yourself and for more people. And so I encourage you to find your why and not look back, only move forward. And lastly, do not forget to live right now too. You know, you gotta inhale the fresh air. You know, it just rained here, it smells good. Be in the moment, enjoy the presence of others. That's the main thing. Just boom, just do what you gotta do in the day to day. Love your grind and just keep doing the right thing. So thanks for watching this video. Got more content coming about how to optimize health and well-being, so stay tuned.